Uh, Good morning, students. We'll wait for 1 more minute. Let your friends join. Meanwhile, if you have any kind of doubts and all related to any kind of issues, please let. So I'm expecting you people to do SWAYAM NPTEL certification. Okay, that will be useful for you as well as for your colleges. Okay. If you do NPTEL certification, what happens? Your college will get ranked, okay, by NPTEL. So the NPTEL, SWAYAM NPTEL also is giving rankings to the individual colleges, okay, is based on the performance of the students or the faculty who are doing their certificate. Okay. So if you win, your college wins. So it's kind of a win-win situation. So you never face these kind of a situation in your real life. Always your real life situations are win-lose situations. That's what you have to remember. So please do. That will help you in understanding in what way your faculty is very different as compared to the IIT faculty, and what kind of the questions the IIT faculty will give you. Okay, then the standards that you can compare between faculty from KITS college and the faculty from IIT. Okay. Apart from that, it will help you, okay, nurture your own way of learning your language, and that certification will give you an edge over the rest of other people during your placement, and you can put that in your CV saying that you completed this kind of certification from SWAYAM NPTEL. So those are the kind of the advantages that you guys will get. So not only simply doing certification is not good. Try to be in top 1% of those who are writing SIG. So they give certifications. I'll show you. So you get certification like this. So this is the topper certificate, top 2%. Okay? So out of 2,224 students, I mean, who were appeared, I was into a top 2%. So this kind of stamp here that you get. So you guys have to get this. Still, I am not satisfied with the way I perform. So it has to be a top 1%. So top 1% means you have to be below 100. This marks has to be above 90%. So above 90, you will get a gold certificate here. This is a kind of a silver certificate. So that's an advantage. Java also I have done it. This is also a top 2 and gold certificate. So total I got this much. Proctored exam you have to observe. Proctored exam marks I get 75 out of 75. This is assignment. So you have to sit down in your house and do it. Okay? This is how there are so many people as written. So you have to prove yourself, okay, what you are. I'm trying to do that. This time I'm writing mathematics. Previous time exams are not conducted. Okay, Python. Yeah, doing this. So this hall ticket. This exam is on. Okay, from today. So I mean, please try to do. See, there is no point in me doing all this certification. So I already settled. But if you think that you're settled, right, so you never improve your mind. So I always try to be competent with the students. I don't care about the fact. So students are too good, too young, right? So you have to compete with those. So I'm expecting you people to do this. If I don't show all this right, at least out of 60 members, few people will get energized, right? They do at least some kind of it. That's what I thought of showing you. I'm trying my level best in those certifications. So please do register for. There are two courses related to C, Introduction to Programming C, and the other one is Problem Solving through Programming C. Something was there, okay, which is similar to your subject what you are studying, but their standards are very different as compared to our standards. So you have to sync with those. Right? Any doubts? Please let me know if you have any doubts related to your previous class. Otherwise, we'll start here. Okay, then. We'll start your class.
Sir, please speak properly, sir. At the end of your sentence, your voice is not clear.
That's a problem with online. Okay, see, I'm using this headset, right? So what happens? It mutes and unmutes. Whenever it is muting, unmuting, right? So there will be some kind of. So this is hardware which automatically unmutes when I was speaking. Okay, but it mutes when I was not speaking. Getting all of you are able to hear this. All of you are there or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is a problem, online problems. Okay, so please bear with me. Anyhow, I am recording everything, so I'll post all this, right? So in the recording also the same, right? There is a hardware issues from my side or your side, network issues. So many things are there. So please bear with online classes until unless we open up the college and start doing it offline, right? These kind of issues will be there always with each and every. Maybe the kind of the hardware I'm using, the headphones, right? So there may be issue. Okay, I'm speaking properly. Okay, not sure any kind of hardware issues. I can't trace it, and it is not in my control. Okay. Right. What we discussed in a previous class. Previous class, we discussed all your tokens. Please unmute all of you. I'm requesting all of you to 38 roll number. You are unmute.
అమ్మాయి ఫోన్ పెట్టా నాకు రావట్లేదు ఏమి అక్కడ
Roll number 38. Don't unmute. Why you are unmuting, ma? If you want to ask some kind of doubts, you have to unmute. Otherwise, okay. So we discussed all tokens. As part of this, we are not discussed only operators. We'll discuss these also. Okay. So in between, before discussing this and the rest of other things, we need to talk about data types. Okay, we discussed what are the different fundamental data types supported by your C language. Okay, then we discussed
Types of
format specifiers, right? Format specifiers for individual data types, %d or %i for your integer, %c for your character, %f for your float, %lf for your double, like this. There's so many other format specifiers. So we'll discuss all those things when you talk about your type specifiers. See how this is specifier, this specifier. Don't confuse with the kind of this and this. Okay, this is a format related. So format means you have %e, %c and all. They are called format specifiers. Okay, these are type specifiers. Okay, type specifiers are type modifiers. I shown you why they call the modifiers also. Okay, they trying to. So when you combine, there is a set of type modifiers existing. Okay, which is a void. What else? Dot. Next.
Long.
Long. Next.
Signed.
Signed.
Unsigned.
Unsigned. Okay. So we have seen, okay, when you use these type specifiers or the modifiers along with the data types, how they are getting modified, their normal characteristics, right? That's why they are called as a type modifier. So we'll talk about this signed and unsigned today. Okay, ma, with the help of a code snippet. Okay, we'll write some small codes. This is not a program, okay? Remember this. This is not a kind of code. So int I is equal to 10. So what I'm trying to do is you have to talk about so unsigned sizes also. When you do unsigned, what are the range of its values that you can see? Is the first. So we'll go there. We'll see what are the things are there. The unsigned max, unsigned long. Long max is this much only. Unsigned long max is very forward as compared to. So whose minimum is very less. Okay. Unsigned long minimum will be unsigned means a zero. It has to start with zero. Minimum is zero. Maximum is any kind of big number. Okay. So if it is unsigned only, unsigned means it will never go to negative side. Okay, ma. So if it is signed means you have negatives and positives. Signed means anytime that you declare int I is equal to, okay. If you declare int I, let us say, okay, I can hold any kind of value, -10, anything, okay, negative also, because there is no modifier to it. Default modifier here is signed. Signed int, okay, int, both are same. Okay. If I give unsigned int, okay, I, the minimum value will be 0. The maximum is depends on the number of bytes that it supports. Okay. Let us assume that is a 4 bytes. Okay. 32 bits will be there. So 0 to 2 power 32 minus 1 values will be. So let us assume that you have a nibble is a size. What is the maximum size? Assume that maximum size of your any data type is 1 nibble. So what do you mean by nibble? How many bits will be there in a nibble?
8.
4 bytes.
Byte is 8 bits. Okay. Nibble is 4 bits. Okay. In your computer, all your data will be stored in the form of bits, zeros and ones. Please study. I'm not getting that you guys are really studying whatever I'm posting in your post. Okay. If you don't study, it's very difficult to come across. You guys will never follow me. Okay. Getting on. So all the values that you are trying to put into, let's say int I is equal to 10 is there. How this is getting stored inside your computer is using two's complement. Okay, so we'll talk about what is two. So remember that it is in the binary format. So your memory, each cell will be having some kind of a byte. Okay, 1 byte is 8 bits. But assume that. So yesterday we were seeing what is the integer size is 4 bytes. Okay, so first byte, second byte, third byte, fourth byte. So this is what your size of your integer called length of the word. Word length related to your integers to store your value. Okay. So how this will be get stored? Let us assume, I mean, you have to convert this into binary first. So which is 1010. So this is only one nibble. So the rest of things will be zeros, all zeros. So how many? This is the fourth byte I'm saying. This is the third byte. So this each byte will be having bits, right? So 31 bit, 30th bit, 29th bit, 28 bit, okay, 27, 26, 25, 24. This is related to fourth. So similarly, you will be having for third, for second. Now I'm talking about the first one. The first one you have seventh one, 6,
7.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. From 0 onwards it starts. As I told you, 4 bytes, 4 8s are 32 total. As
Into
you are
8.
as you are starting with a 0, you will be having 31. Okay, 0 to 31 total 32 bits will be there. So your values will be stored in the form of bits, zeros and ones only. Okay. So how this values get stored into this is important. So it will be stored as 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So how many bits are there here? 4, 4, 8. So this is fourth byte. Okay. Next is 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. This one I have. Okay. Now the rest of others are zeros only from here to here. I can't write all those things each and every byte. Right? So just I'm putting a dot, 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 all zeros. Okay. So in byte wide, if you write, this will be 0. Okay. This is 0, 0. Hexadecimal wide if you write it. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. What is this? 10 means F. Okay. So this much of things will. So this is 1 byte, second byte. This is the first byte, second byte, third byte, fourth byte. So 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, F, 0, 0, F. So 1, this is the first byte, fourth byte, third, second, first. Okay. So in hexadecimal, you can represent like this. Okay. This is how it will get stored into your computer. Okay. So how to understand these things is assume that I can't write these many bits every time to explain. Assume that your size of your any kind of data type is 1 nibble. When you talk about a 1 nibble, how many bits will be there?
4 bits.
4 bits. Very good. 0, first bit, second bit, third bit. So if I say it is we are talking about only unsigned. Okay? If it is a unsigned, the minimum value of your unsigned is 0. So how to store it is 0, 0, 0. Okay. So minimum value will be 0. Maximum value will be all ones. So okay, when I keep all ones, what happens? How to convert this into your decimal is I'm starting from here. Okay, this is called least significant bit. Okay, this is most significant bit when you talk in terms of word length as 1 nibble. Okay, so I'm starting from here 1 into 2 power 0 plus next one 1 into 2 power 1 plus next one 1 into 2 square plus the next one 1 into 2. What it is? This is 1 plus this is 2 plus this is 4 plus this is 8. What it is? 15. So minimum value is this, maximum value is 15. So how to get your 15? This is 2 power 4 minus 1. 2 power 4 is 16 minus 1. So that depends on the number of bits that you have. So similarly, when you talk about your integer is having how many bits? In this machine, wherever I'm executing.
32.
32. So it is maximum value is 2 power 32 minus 1. That's what I was telling somewhere. Right? So this is how you have to find maximum value. So if you talk about your range of values, whatever it is mentioned here, it is talking about that one. Unsigned int max is this. Okay. This is unsigned. So all F's, second F, third F, fourth F. This is a first byte, least significant byte. Next byte, next byte, next byte. Okay. That's what I told you. So all ones. So
Sir, why did you write that 1010, sir, for 3210?
what it is?
In previous slide, sir.
Is the program?
No, sir. That 3210.
3 to
You wrote no, sir, something on the white sheet in that.
where?
There here 1010. You wrote no, sir, for that code.
10.
Binary code.
10, 10. 10 is represented as like this. This one you are talking about, right?
Yes.
So it is a 10 is a binary number. Binary conversion is 1010. I'll let you know. I mean, see, you guys has to know how to convert your numbers, decimals into binaries. So 10, how to convert? 2 fives are 0, 2 twos are 1, 2 ones are 0, right? 2 ones are 2, so the remainder is 0. Okay, so if I take 10, 2 division, 2 fives are remainder 0, 2 twos are 4, remainder 1, 2 ones are 2, remainder 0. So you have to start writing from here. So which is 1010, which is 2, which is as equivalent as 10 of 10. Okay, the binary equivalent of your decimal 10 is this. Okay. But as I know this is an integer, the integer you have how many bits? 32. So 4 bytes are there. Okay, first byte, second byte, third byte, fourth byte. Bytes I am talking. Bytes means 8 bits will be there. So how to represent in an expanded notation of that is a 0th bit, first bit, second bit, third bit, fourth bit, fifth bit, sixth bit, seventh bit. This is related to this. Okay. So you have to write similarly 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is another byte which is related to this. So similarly, same way you have to write. Okay, so the last one will be 31, 30, 29, 28, okay, 27, 26, 25, 24. This is a kind of a byte which is related to this. I have not written in between which is related to this. Now, what you have to know, you have to represent this. See, my old number 10 actually has to occupy all these 4 bytes, but my value was one nibble only. That nibble will come as here. So exactly I have to write 1, 0. The rest of other things are zeros only. Right? Now, this one you have to convert into decimal. I want to make sure that this is actually decimal 10 or not. How to do it? You have to start from here. Okay. 0 into 2 power 0 plus next 1 is there. 1 into 2 power 1 plus next 0 is there. 0 into 2 square plus next 1 is there. 1 into 2 cube plus rest of all are zeros. 0 multiplied by something, anything is 0 only. So I'm interested to write up to this one because I know all these are zeros. So this fellow will be 0 plus this fellow will be 2. This is a 0 plus this is a 8 plus again 0, 0, 0, 0. So when you add up, you get your 10 in a decimal. This is how it will get represented inside. Okay. Inside your PC in a binary form. Binary form. Okay. So you see if it is a positive number, okay, it is represented in binary. If it is a negative number, it is represented in 2's complement. Okay. Represented in 2's complement. Why it is, I'll let you. So you guys has to understand all this and practice. If you don't practice, you don't get anything. Okay. You won't understand things. Okay, man. So where we are, I mean, right? We are talking about signed, unsigned, right? So whenever it is a signed int I is as equivalent to as int I, declaration byte, both are same. Okay. If I keep unsigned int or which can be as equivalent as unsigned, okay, both are same. Signed is only for integer. So if I keep it unsigned I or unsigned int I, what happens? That indicating that you are trying to tell that there won't be any negative numbers that you are going to store into your I. So the minimum value of your I will be what it is whenever it is unsigned?
1.
0. Okay, minimum value will be 0. What is the size of your integer in this my computer? Is 4 bytes. So what is the maximum value that I can write using 4 bytes? 4 bytes leads to 32 bits. So it is 2 power 32 minus. That's what I showed you by taking a nibble. Nibble is what? 0, 1, 2, 3 only. If you assume, if you take 32 bits, I have to write all things, right? So instead of writing all things, right? I'm taking a nibble. Assume that your size of your integer is 1 nibble. Okay. How to do it? Minimum values are zeros, all zeros. So when you represent this in a decimal format, it is a base 10, 0. Now I have to fill up all the values. Assume that is all the values. So what is this value? How to do it? How to compute it? This 1 into 240 plus this 1 into 2 power 1 plus this 1 into 2 square plus this 1 into 2. So you compute this. Okay, this is a 8. Okay. This fellow will be 4 plus this will be 2 plus this will be 1. When you add up all things, what you are getting? Here 15. So how to get your 15? 2 power 4 minus 1. What is this 4? This 4 you can talk in this. 4 number of bits. Minus 1. 2 power 4 is 16 minus 1, 15 you get it. So similarly, when you talk about 32 bits, what is the possible maximum value that I can write is 2 power 32? Getting? That's how you have to predict the value. Okay. So how you get your maximum value with the 32 bits is, see how to represent this. Okay. This fellow in hexadecimal, anyone? 15 is its decimal. Hexadecimal, how to notate your 15?
OX 100.
OX? It's a 0, not OMA. 0x. What it is? What? How you represent your 15 in hexadecimal? So that's what.
All ones. 111.
111 is a binary, not a hexadecimal.
Okay,
How,
okay.
how this will be represented in a hexadecimal? 15 has to be represented in hexadecimal. Already I told you hexadecimal will be having a digit supported 0 to 9. Then 10 will be represented as 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Right? Done. Getting? This is 10, this is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So the 15 is for this. So 15 is represented as F, small f or capital F, whatever it is. So this can be represented as this. So remember this. Okay. Please study after completing your class. I'm not saying you guys are studying. So now what you have to do? You take your 32 bits. When you take 32 bits, so I'm starting from here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 1 nibble. This is 1 byte. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, byte, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 5, 24, 25, 26, 27 nibble, 28, 29, 30, 30. So this is your first byte. This is your second byte. This is your third byte. This is your fourth byte. Okay. So if you say unsigned int I, what is the minimum value that you get it? You have to fill all these as a 0. So when you fill as zeros, all zeros, your resultant you get as a 0. Next value is what? I have to fill all ones. So I fill all ones. So what is the value of this actually? In a hexadecimal. What it is? F. That's correct. Okay. So 1F. how many things are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 f's were there. Okay. So 0, x, 8 f's. Okay. So you have to go here, check here. Unsigned int maximum value is this. I'm saying this, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's how they write all this. Okay. So this is how you have to understand how, what is the link between this and whatever, because there is a part of your limit. So what is this file where you are looking all these values? File name. I'm showing those values. One of the file. What is the name of that file?
Limits.h.
That's good now. Limits.h. This is what you need observation. Okay, if you do observe properly, right? So why it is called limits? See, it's talking about maximum limits, minimum limits of all your various combinations of your fundamental data types, along with when you combine your type modifiers with the fundamental data types, all those limits you will find. So how to explain them? If it is unsigned, very easy. If it is assigned, very difficult to do it. Okay. Understand? So as of now, I'm trying to explain you how your unsigned things will be get. If it is assigned means you will be having a negative number. Whenever it is a negative numbers, you have to store your numbers in a 2's complement. Okay. So we'll talk about this afterwards. First of all, we need to cover all your syllabus before we talk about all these stuff. Okay. This we'll discuss during your bitwise operator. So what you are done now, this unsigned is what? Anybody? In which concept that you study is unsigned?
Modifiers.
Yes. This is the type modifiers or type specifiers. So what your type modifiers, whose values are it is modifying? Your type modifiers is modifying your normal characteristics of the fundamental data types. These are data types. That's why it's called type modifier. Okay. So if it is not, if it unsigned is not there, so it has a tendency to store negative numbers also. So negative number, minimum negative number, how much that you can store and all, it will be there. Okay. Int min, this is the minimum value. Okay. Int max, if it is a long min is this negative C. Long max is positive. Okay. So we'll see all this stuff. Okay. So as of now, what you realized using your type modifiers or type specifiers, it is trying to change the characteristics, normal characteristics of your fundamental data. Okay, so you've seen signed out. Unsigned. Signed is by default. If you don't mention anything also, int I is there. Default, what it will come with? What is the modifier, default modifier here?
Signed.
Signed. This is a sign. Okay, you don't have to mention. So all your data types that you write, right? They are all signed. If you want to change it, really, you have to do unsigned, unsigned, float. I mean, float really it works or not? You need to. Okay. So go here. Try to declare. I mean, you don't have to do anything. Float. Just to declare it, save it. Try to compile it. If it throws error, it won't support. Okay. Unsigned and float in declaration space. Okay. So it's not allowed. So try to with the int compile. It worked. Okay. Understand? So unsigned works only with the unsigned char will see. Compile. Worked. Okay. So this is a way you guys have to understand where your void your modifiers works or not. So throwing an error. Okay. So void is not supported. So I hope you guys understood what is your type specifiers are. So what is trying to tell here, long and short may be specified with an integer. See, that's what long, short, I already given a declarations of those things, and try to use long, short with your float also. It is throwing an error. The meaning is same as int, if int not mentioned. Simply long, short also, if you do it, it's the integer only. Long may be specified together with a double also. That's also I showed you. Signed and unsigned may be specified together with int or any of short and long or char. So these are the constraints, okay, are the rules that you have to follow. Signed and unsigned can be used only with integer, short, long, char. These are the 4 data types. Those are directly or indirectly are integers only. What are those? Int, short, long, char. These are all are integers only basically. So your char is how it is called as an integer. We'll see after. A void denotes non-existent data type. Okay. And type specifiers are also termed as a type modifier. So the main use of type specifiers is to alter the meaning of basic type, or more precisely fit to a specific need. So type modifiers are the type specifiers. Why you are doing it? To change the characteristics of these things to suit to your real world problem. See, I want more number of computations is existing, or I want to store big data, very large data into my variable. Your int is not good enough to store it. What you have to do? You have to either make it as a long, okay, or you try to keep that into a double n, long double. Okay, that's so. So if it's a long double, it provides the width of your the kind of the range of the size of it is very big as compared to your normal int or normal double. So that's why you prefer to use your type modifiers to change its normal characteristics to suit to your real world problem. So we'll see all this going. Right. Next, type qualifiers. Okay, there are 2 kinds of type qualifiers. One is constant, volatile. I'll rub this. I hope you guys understood. If you not understood, please let me know before I go to type qualifiers. If you're not understood anything, please let me know. Anyone, any kind of a question, if you're not understood really, sir, this is not, I've not understood enough. That's what you have to mention. See, whatever you are studying, you have to study properly. How much time you are investing into make your doubts clear and all, that's a second issue. But whatever you study, keep it very clear.
Sir, in one slide you wrote 0 to 32 bits, no, sir?
Yes, 31, 0 to 31, total 32.
Sorry, 0 to 31. In that, why did you write all ones only?
See, maximum value, how to keep a maximum value into it is all ones. If I keep all ones, so I'll get a maximum. If I keep all zeros, I'll get a 0. Obviously, see, I explained that with a kind of a nibble, right? So nibble, I explained by taking only 4 bits. So 0th bit, 1st bit, 2nd bit, 3rd bit. So assume, okay, I can't write 32 bits for you to explain you. It takes huge amount of time. Okay, so assume this is a kind of a 4 bytes otherwise. Okay, so how to get your minimum values? Unsigned, all zeros if I give it, right? So how to convert this decimal into or binary into a decimal is 0 multiplied by, okay, I'm starting from here, 2 power 0 plus this fellow 0 multiplied by 2 power 1 plus this fellow 0 multiplied by 2 power square plus this 0 multiplied by 2 cube. So all you get is a 0. Understand? So if I keep all ones, I'll get a maximum value. This is only in the case of unsigned. Okay, but how it will be or differ from signed and all, we'll discuss afterwards. So if I keep all ones, okay, what happens here? I'm starting from here 1 into 240 plus the second fellow 1 into 2 power 1 plus the third one 1
15.
into 2 square plus 1 into 2 cube. So you get 240 is 1. So 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8. You get 15. Why you got? How to notate this 15 in terms of the number of bits that you used is 2 power 4. 4 is the number of bits that you have in your nibble. So 16 minus 1. Understand? So this much of maximum value. 2 power 4 I know very easily. Understand? So 2 power 4 is 16 minus 1, 15 I'll get it. But you expand this 4 bits to 32 bits. Okay. So how to get it? Instead of 4, you have to write 32. 2 power 32 minus 1 is the maximum value. I'll get it whenever I have having 32 bits to represent my word. Or understand?
Sir.
That's how you guys have to understand. Okay. This is only related to unsigned. Don't take this for signed ones. Signed ones are very different. Okay. We'll talk about that after. Signed numbers are stored in the form of 2's complement. You remember this. Okay. Will be stored in 2's complement. How to represent 2's complement given a binary number? We'll see all the stuff. Okay. Going forward. See, remember all these things will not be get explained in your textbook. These things won't be there. So that's why you have to be careful when you are listening to your class. Okay. So when I said ask doubts means ask doubts. That's it. I mean, maybe that differs from faculty to faculty. I waste a lot of time in explaining what is the doubt the students will have. Okay. Few faculty don't like doubts, but I like doubts. The class has to be interactive based. If it's not interactive, even faculty doesn't know what really the students is doing. Okay, and I want 60 out of 60 students has to learn your C language properly. Okay, not even a 1 out of this. So how to do it? I'm telling you again. See, these things I was telling for your seniors also. If you know any seniors, talk to them. Okay. I never repeat anything anytime. Okay, 2-3 times I'll repeat it. Afterwards I'll forget. Okay, but those things I look after during your evaluation. Understand? So there won't be any kind of a deviations or during evaluation. I don't give a marks. You have to fight for your marks. Fight means not with me, with your studies. So you have to be careful when you are studying. Whatever it is covered in a class, go home. I mean, be in your home, study it. Open textbooks, study it. That's why I told you to take Balaguru Swami. All the things, all the concepts are explained properly. Few of the things are mistakes there in a textbook. I'll let you know what are the kind of the mistakes there in a Balaguru. Then next, Richie. Okay, Richie, I mean, C. Okay. C, ANSI C book by Richie. You know who is this, right? Who is this? Richie?
Founder of CLM.
Yes.
Of C language.
He is an inventor, Dennis Ritchie. So he written C book means how valuable it is. So Balaji Samuels has written, but I'll let you know what are the mistakes that writing the text. So first, to understand your C easily, you have to go ahead with this. Okay? Then after study 3-4 times of your Balaguru Swami also, go to the textbook written by Richie and try to understand. Okay, you will ensure yourself that you don't know. Getting marks. So that kind of a standards he will put into the text. So even faculty also will feels to study this kind of a text. Okay. So please, I mean, try to solve all the problems that's there as a part of your textbook, Balaguru Swami and Richie. So how to study a textbook? Go to chapter 1, study from first word to last word, understand all concepts. How you ensure this, understand all concepts? Solve exercise problem. If you are able to solve all the exercise problems, you understood. If you are not able to solve this, you are not understood. So how to do it? You come back and study this. Again, after studying it, you have to come here and try to do all this. This is for not only chapter 1, this is for all chapters. This is not about only PPSC. You have to do for C++, Java, Python, blah, 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 all computer science, CSE or CSM related subjects. So if you study this way, then only you learn the fundamentals how to solve your. Otherwise, there's no shortcut. Okay, don't ask for notes and all. Okay, I don't give. I mean, I'm not sure about the rest of other faculty. I don't give a note. Don't expect
Sir,
me.
can you please push the soft copy of that
No,
books?
that's what I'm. This is a book only, ma. I have written a book, so there is no difference between studying this and the Balaguru Swami. Getting. See, this is I have written. How many pages are there? 174 pages are there. So I have written only up to part, not complete. So you won't see any changes between studying this and studying combinations of your Balaguru Swami and Rishi. My book is a combinations of mostly best of Balaguru Swami and Rishi. Getting. So you have to make what you call habituated to study text. I'm saying this. Okay? Please don't ask for, at least me. Okay? Don't ask for no. So if you have any doubts, come to a class, ask those doubts. If I am not explaining, that's my fault. Even though I have the notes, all the notes are there, whatever the subjects I have taught, but I don't give because I want students forcefully to open the textbook and study to understand the concepts from text. You underline. I'm not saying that you note down everything in a separate notebook. Otherwise, what you have to do? You have to take a pencil, understand, underline which are the very important points are there. So when you go to exam, open the textbook, study those underlines to review everything what you have studied. That's how you have to do it. I used to do this way only during my BTech or MTech or a PG or a PhD, right? So that's why I'm forcing. I understood what is the advantage of studying textbook. That's why I'm forcing you people to do that. Same. There's no harm that I can control P, print it, right? Do PDF, post it in a course web. That doesn't take much time for me to maximum 2-3 minutes. Okay. So, but what it will do, it will harm the students' natures. Basically. Already it is harmed in your intermediate. I know it, right? And you are up to 10th. Nowadays, the studies are very different. I don't like the way the Indian education is going. ఏంటమ్మా ఏమి ఇస్తున్నారు ప్రతిదానికి వాట్ ఏమంటారు ల్యాబ్ మెటీరియల్స్ ఆర్ సంథింగ్ ఐ డోంట్ రిమెంబర్ దిస్ దే హావ్ ద షెడ్యూల్స్ ఆల్సో టు డెలివర్ ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్ రైట్ yes or no why you require this so why you need textbooks first. This is not required if it is there. This is not required if it is there. I'm talking only in context of computer science only. I don't know about your physics or the chemistry or blah, blah, blah. Okay, ma. Please study textbook. Even though I'm not asking you people to take PPSC, they prepare, I don't know what is the name. Okay. That material, don't follow it. Okay. I'll tell you each and every problem. Okay, I'll type in front of you to make you understand. Okay, then you go ahead with this and understand. That's not a problem. Okay, even I'm telling other thing also. If you're not understood anything, whatever I'm explaining, you can go to any faculty whom you feel is better than I am explaining. Get that doubts clear. It's not an. That's how I do and I behave. You need to understand the behavior of your faculty also. Otherwise, it's very difficult to follow it. Okay. If you have any kind of doubts, if you know any of your seniors in second years, I've taken CSE 2 OPJ, CSE 1 second years I've taken DS. Okay. Your third year CSE 3. Okay, I have taken DS Advanced Data Structures, Databases. Okay, and for CSE 1 Advanced Java Program. So these are the kind of things that I have taken to your senior. You talk to those people. Okay, so it's not an issue, but don't expect me to give one. So I can give it, but I don't want to do it because textbooks are there. What is the point in giving a notes and making you a dumb? That's I don't want. Okay. So that's how from my side related to your C. Okay, please don't request me again for notes and all. Okay, notes is there with me. What is there? I can print it. I can give it to you. This is not a notes. I'm preparing a textbook actually. Okay. Getting so I can write the other notes also. Really, the rest of I mean it was there up to so many chapters are there. Arrays up to arrays I have completed. The rest of things within no time I can complete it. This is same as your textbook only. Okay. There's no difference. Okay. Any doubts related to your type modifiers? Please let me. If you have any doubts, now only you talk to me. So with the type modifiers, what it is doing, it is changing the range of values, and sizes of data. Whenever you're changing the size, it changes its range. Even though sometimes when you don't change the size, it changes its range, which is that unsigned. Unsigned won't change the size base. Okay? The size will be as it is, but it changes the range of. Okay? When you use long and all, what it will do long, it change your size. Whenever you change size, it range will be given. Okay. I hope you understood. Okay. The range of values are called limits. What is that? Minimum limits, maximum limits. The minimum limits, maximum limits will get changed during unsigned. Minimum will be unsigned, 0 will be there. Maximum based on the kind of the size it supports. If it's 32 bits, 2 power 32 minus 1 will be. Okay. If it is signed, the minimum will be in a negative value. Okay. The maximum will be 2 power 31 minus 1. So that's how. So what your type modifier or specifiers are trying to do? They are trying to change the characteristics of your normal data types. What are those characteristics it is changing? It is changing the range of values. It is changing the sizes of those data, fundamental data. So what are the fundamental data types that you are working on? What are the C fundamental data types?
Character, integer,
Character,
float, double,
integer, float, double. That's
double.
it. These are the things. Okay. So you have to use the modifiers what are there along with these based on its suitability. Okay. The long, okay, cannot be used with the float. Long can be used with this fellow and double. Okay. Unsigned. Unsigned can be used with integer, okay, and char. And unsigned can be used with short also. Short is what? Is again a modifier, but unsigned also again a modifier. Unsigned short also you can use. Unsigned long also you can use. Okay. Unsigned again what it is? Unsigned is a modifier. Long also modifier. Okay. Unsigned long, default it will be integer only, but it is not mentioned. Here also, unsigned short, default it is integer only. It is not mentioned. So these are the things that you guys will see as a part of your student. But mostly these things is very rarely you use it. Mostly these things only will use it. Wherever it is required, really will use this stuff. Okay. But as it is there, right? So you have to understand in which context that you guys can mostly utilize the concept that you already studied. If you don't know all this, you don't know how to use and where to use. Okay. The next one, type qualifiers, right? There are two kinds of type. See, types are qualified with something. One is const, other one is volatile. Const means, see, the const has to be used with any kind of stuff. Okay, so const with int, when I declare I, so it is trying to tell you is that I'm declaring this integer as a constant. Okay, so whenever you use const, you have to initialize with a value compulsory, any kind of value, 100 or so. Once it is initialized as this is qualified, okay, this data type I is qualified with a const, this becomes a constant and cannot be assigned a value going further. Getting? So that's why the const is called a qualified. You can't change it. So how it is qualified? Qualified with a const means your I becomes constant. So you can't change the value during your execution. So whenever you have the const, let us say const int j, you cannot declare like that. It's a wrong. It throws error. So what you have to do? You have to give some kind of a value to it. Okay. So I will show you that. We'll remove this. Int I works. It won't be any problem. Compile. But if I do const qualifier with your int and without initialization, right? Compile is working. Let us print it value. I'm not sure what is value. 0 most probably. It is not initialized. It's 0, right? So if I do is equal to 100, okay, then try to change its value, then this is mostly not a compile. So it's throwing an error saying assignment to read only variable. So when you qualify your I with a const, it becomes a read only. Read only means you can't change its value. It becomes a constant. So these kind of updates you cannot do it, or any kind of update. The I should not be on a left hand side of your assignment. Yeah, so going forward from here on. That's how your const is stored. So how to declare a constant in your C language?
Put one value.
Yes, ma'am. How to declare constants in your C language? Or how, what keyword that you use it?
Const.
Const. So what is the concept? The const belongs to type qualifier. What it is? Type qualifier. Const is one of the keywords here. So now you've seen another keyword, const. Okay. You're seen int, float, char, double, signed, unsigned, void, long, short. All those are keywords. Okay, I already told you. Going forward, you learn all those things. Okay. So that's how the uses of const. So using const qualifier, you can make any variable constant, and whenever it is, you can initialize it some kind of value. If you want initialize, by default, its value will be 0. Okay. So going forward, after this declaration, okay, you cannot change the value. The left hand side, I should not be in the left hand side of your assignment. I mean, I can't write like this. Can't update your I. It's a problem. It's an error base as per rules, syntax and semantics of your C language. Okay. The next one, volatile. Volatile we'll discuss in a next class. Okay. Your time is up. Okay. So we'll discuss in a next class. Volatile is a bit very different, and no textbook will talk about this volatile. Richie has this volatile type one. Okay. So what is a volatile? Why you use it? What is the advantage of using a volatile and all? Right? We'll discuss. Let me download your attendance. Right. I am done with your class, Mark. Thank you for one and all. Tomorrow, the same time we'll meet.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.